So the First Descendant's cross-platform open beta is right around the corner, and I wanted to take this moment to talk to you guys about all the changes that have happened since the last closed beta. So sit back, strap in, and prepare to dive deep into the First Descendant. Last year I had the honor, dare I say the privilege, to take part in the closed beta test, and man, me and my friends had a fantastic time doing so. However, during that time several daunting issues emerged, one of which being those who had AMD video cards. Well, the game was barely running at all. It felt somewhat akin to a slideshow, and NVIDIA card owners, well, they weren't completely in the clear as they could only get a maximum of 50 frames per second. You couple that with the fact that some of the NPCs' load times would take up to 5 minutes. Cillian, I'm looking at you right now. And the reason behind that was due to the fact of the way the rune system was laid out. Instead of having the runes stack in your inventory, every single one of them took up its own individual slot. So even if you had duplicates, those duplicates would still hold their own individual position, making the load times increased. Now, that's one of the things that hopefully they've had time to adjust since then, but we'll have to see when we get to that point. Lastly, each boss felt underwhelming, as every single one was fought in the exact same arena, which felt almost like a testing environment. Now fast forward almost a year, and based off what we've heard from the game director, a lot has changed. For example, they say they have fixed almost all performance issues, and now the game is running at a smooth 60 frames per second. This is going to be a big deal for all of you who are going to be participating in the upcoming Crossplay open beta. As they say, for those who have PlayStations and Xboxes, they've worked especially hard on making sure that you have the best user experience. This time around, they're also going to be introducing 2 new Descendants, one with magnetic abilities that'll somewhat give you the ability of flight, and the other with water abilities. They've also discussed changes to existing Descendant abilities. However, they weren't exactly specific on which Descendants were going to be receiving the reworks, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Next, they talk about how they've taken the time to rework the entire lore and story of this game all the way back to the beginning, which I find quite impressive that they actually took the time to try to tweak the story to make it more engaging. They've even added a whole new zone to the game called the Sterile Lands. Now, I personally don't remember much of the story of this game, and it could be for the fact that I was rushing due to the limited time that we had during the last beta, or it could be the fact that the story wasn't very engaging at that time. Moving on along, they've introduced ultimate weapons to the game. These are going to be the weapons that'll have perks on them, and they mentioned a total of 4 but only showcased 2 at this time. The last dagger is a handgun which gains increased critical hit for every enemy killed, stacking up to 5 times. Once you reach 5 stacks, your next attack will be stronger and will stun the enemy. The other weapon they showcased was a shotgun called Smithereens, which has unconditional critical hit if all shots hit at once and result in a critical hit. Now you might be wondering, how do I acquire one of these weapons? Well, it's going to be the same way that you unlock a Descendant. You'll gather up the materials and you'll take them over to the research agent, and once you've completed the research, you'll unlock the gun. One of the systems that received the most amount of feedback from the last closed beta is getting a complete overhaul, and that's the rework to the grappling hook system. We all asked for it, and now we're getting it. They've made the grappling hook work a lot more like a Spider-Man web shooter, as we'll be able to control the direction mid-grapple, as well as using our environment to maintain momentum. I think that this is going to be a great change, and I can't wait to get into the open beta and experience it alongside of you guys. Wait a second. You're still here? And you haven't yet hit the subscribe button? What's going on? If you could, please hit that subscribe button for me, it'd really help out. Also, while you're down there, if you could hit the thumbs up so more people like you can find videos like this. Let's get back to it. Now we need to get into some unfortunate news. For any of you hoping to participate in PvP in this game, that's not going to be happening, as they have stated firmly that they will not be introducing PvP at this time, and they are purely concentrated on the PvE aspect. They're implementing a bunch of new PvE features, such as there's going to be a new large-scale raid dungeon, as well as seasonal content is going to be on the regular to make sure that we are engaged with new content. They also discussed how some of us may have seen in the trailer before, fighting void bosses in the world. Well, we're also not going to be getting that just yet either. They said maybe we'll see that at launch, but I'd keep your fingers crossed because it seems highly unlikely it'll be ready by then, but we'll see. However, they are going to be introducing new arenas for those of us who will be participating in the void battles. You'll notice this time around that when you queue up for it, the arena might not be the same. This will really help with all the repetitiveness of always feeling like you're in the same environment over and over again fighting the void bosses. And that pretty much wraps up everything they've shared up until this point. So if you're interested in this game, make sure that you head over to the Steam page and go ahead and request access. If you're a PlayStation or Xbox user, make sure you head over to their website and you'll see a tab at the top for the Crossplay beta. Click on that and go ahead and follow the prompts for your selected device. And if you're still on the fence and not sure if you want to play this game just yet, well, you can head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/KaiNifty and you can chat with me, maybe watch some streams of the game and decide more on if this game is something for you or not. What are your thoughts about the First Descendant? Is there anything you'd like to see added or changed? Is there anything that I missed? Let me know all of your thoughts down below, and make sure to check back for all things First Descendant related. Thanks for watching.